And just for everybody's info, the demo day will be live streamed to YouTube. So now we are live streaming. And starting the demo day 2, we probably will live stream to Twitter directly, like the other teams have experienced this before, and I think could be a very good format for us. Thanks for joining, everyone, and thanks for all the judges to join. Let me just share screen to give a quick introduction. First, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So first, let me give the general public the context about what is Frontier Guild and where are we today. Frontier Guild is a builder program launched by Superfluid to boost the ecosystem growth. The Guild is a community builder of builders working closely with the core team and working on high-impact ecosystem projects. Builders are rewarded with continuous fundings. Every 2 weeks, there's demo day to showcase their progress. And builders receiving funding flow rates will be adjusted based on judges' staking votes in the demo day. Today is our first demo day of season 3. Each judge will be given 100 units. Each judge has been given 100 units. And you can choose, allocate these units to the 4 of these, out of these 6 projects. You can choose 4 projects to allocate the 100 units. And the judging tool has also already been shared with the judges, and you can allocate proportionally by the level of your preference. For example, you can give fluid fund 30%, so 30 units. This one can be 20 units, can be 20 units here, and etc. But you can only vote 4 projects out of 6 projects. For judges who joined today for the first time, if you have additional questions, we can stay later after the call. We can walk you through the front end again. Now I will stop sharing. We'll want to welcome the external judges today here. So maybe each of the external judges today can give a quick intro about who you are, what are you working in the industry, so the participants can know you better. All right, who wants to begin first?
Yeah, I can go first. Thank you so much, Soleil, for inviting me again for this new cohort. So I'm Limone.it from Rome, Italy. I'm one of the co-founder of the Urbate community that you can also see here on the background. We are the leading community for Web3 builders in Italy, and we've been running a lot of like hackathons and educational bootcamps for developers. I'm a software engineer myself and running a small product studio with some friends from the community. And lately we started focusing our efforts on mini apps development. So we're building a lot of frames v2 on Farcaster now. If you're active there, you might have seen Farmville, the remakes of Farmville, of course. But we're also planning a bunch of other mini app experiments, not only in the Farcaster ecosystem, but also in the WorkCoin ecosystem, which might be interesting to explore. Yeah, that's pretty much it about me.
Thanks, Lemoni, for joining.
My pleasure.
Now, Joyce or Graven, maybe you can also give an introduction about yourself. Yeah.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, good to be back for this season. See a lot of familiar faces. I'm Graven. I work on Flow State. We are using streams mostly for public goods funding and allocation ideas. We built streaming quadratic funding. We actually just released a tool, just like a wrapped GDA tool that we're rolling out to Optimism RPGF recipients and other people that are just trying to stream stuff. And so excited to see what you all have built.
Thanks, Graven. And I know it's super early on your side because Graven is in Denver. So thanks for joining us. And I'm sure your feedback will be useful, valuable for our participants. And maybe it's also the case for Joyce. Are you based in the United States? Could you, maybe give an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I'm currently in Singapore right now. It's fine, it's like 10 p.m. Yeah, so I'm Joyce. I do product at Crossmint. When I say I do product, I basically just do like a range of like stuff. I also do a lot of demos on Twitter about like what we're building. So I built Goat SDK at Crossmint. So Goat is basically an on-chain toolkit that can be plugged into any agent framework so that all agents can have on-chain capabilities from day one. Yusuf has built something, with the Goat SDK toolkit, so like super appreciative. And so basically, Goat is an open source framework toolkit, but it's actually maintained and sponsored by Crossmint. So the core contributors are still Crossmint, and then we have a lot of people around the world are just contributing to it. So today we have over 200 tools that any agent can use to basically do any kind of on-chain action on any chain with any wallet. So it's created to be super, super neutral and just works with like everything out of the box. Yeah, I am looking forward to meeting everyone today. I guess I used to be a founder as well, so like super excited to see what everyone is building.
Oh, thanks, Joyce. It's great to have you. And it's also the first time we have you here, so very happy. And I think your input will be valuable for the teams as well. And now let's kick off the presentation. We have 6 teams here, so please each team keep more or less your presentation to 10 minutes and then followed by Q&A. So we can have more Q&A time compared to the presentation, so you will have more useful inputs from the judges. All right. Which one want to volunteer for the first one? Brave ones, don't worry. Mark, do you want to go first, maybe? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's do it. Okay, so let me share my screen. Where to go? Share. There we go, I think. Okay, everyone see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so Lee and I have teamed up for this season, and we're going to build a super token launcher, Stream.fun, what we're calling it right now. Name could change, but it's a bit of a play on meme and stream. So for now, Stream.fun is the name, and basically it is going to be a token launcher that launches native super tokens with built-in streaming superpowers. So the key reason here that token launchers are really popular right now, but there's at least one key problem. When the only thing you can do with the token is sell it, you often get a chart that looks like this one. With a lot of the meme coins and tokens that get launched these days, you don't have there's nothing you can do with it except sell, and hopefully you pick the right time. So that's something we'd like to address. So what if you could do something more, something cutting edge, but with tried and true technology? With Stream.fun, you can launch, buy, sell, just like any other clanker or meme coin. Plus, you can stake. And you get rewarded instantly with tokens streamed to your wallet every second. So this is going to be a key part of it. Staking for streaming rewards adds another layer to the game. It's fun. And it also reduces sell pressure, which encourages buys and aligns holder and launcher incentives. So it reduces some of that sell pressure that's pretty common with sort of meme coin launches or token launcher launches these days. So here's the project overview. So as I said, it's a token launcher for native super tokens. So these You'll be no need to unwrap them and wrap them. Once they're deployed, they can be streamed right away. The primary UI, we plan to sort of lean into the AI agent as launcher. These would be launched by a text prompt, mentioning the AI agent, requesting the launch of the token, and you get a reply with the super token and all that good stuff. It would have sort of single-sided liquidity provision, Uniswap v3 pool on base. Clanker has sort of pioneered this, and our current plan is to sort of lean into that and use what's working, leverage the open source contract code in that area and do something similar, not necessarily try to innovate in that piece, at least not initially. The other key thing, as mentioned, is the staking module, which would be deployed in tandem. So when the token is deployed, the staking contract would also be deployed along with the Superfluid pool that manages the rewards. We also have a plan. Well, we plan to have a protocol token. We don't yet have a plan for what that's going to look like in terms of tokenomics or potential utility. Number of ideas have been shared during our office hours. We're still thinking on those and haven't made any decisions, but it does sound like one way or the other a good thing to do. We just need to figure out the details. For the UI, a key thing that we believe is that our key primary users are the token launchers. Secondary users are the token traders, but lots of buyers, makes the platform attractive to a launcher. So these are the key things that we think about when we think about what the user interface. So the current plan is sort of similar to the Clanker rollout, like a Farcaster first, having the AI agent live there and lean into the social feed as the UI, conversational back and forth, maybe with some frames in the reply that like help with the next step with social sharing and trading and things like that. I think would work quite well. A web UI is certainly also planned. A key thing that is difficult in the social feed is token discovery. So I think that's a key objective of any web UI. Letting people find tokens, letting them find staking opportunities. Arbitrage searching. And we probably take the same AI prompt deployment or platform and embed that into the web UI as well. So if someone is coming in, they're not on Farcaster, they can use a similar text prompt to deploy token. Smart contracts overview. We plan to take a modular approach. I'm a big fan of modular approaches. As you might recall, anyone who was here in the last season, I first had a module for ERC 721 Pool Manager, I called it, which was a module that helped issue shares in a Superfluid pool based on NFT ownership and transfers. And so similar, there are 3 core modules here to what we want to build. And the first is a super token deployment factory. And so that's responsible for, deploying the token, the native super tokens. The next piece is the liquidity provisioning. So the Uniswap v3 pool, again, that's, very similar to what Clanker is doing is our current plan on that module. And the third is the staking contract, which sort of comes with the GDA Superfluid pool that is actually sending out the rewards. So those are the 3 key modules, designed in such a way that the modules could potentially be replaced independently. I think would be interesting as you go to new versions. You can move to a new version on the staking contract, but not the others. To work through those details, but here's a bit of a diagram that shows those modules as well as sort of the AI agent and the social feed as sort of the UI at the user level. Of course, the AI agent would be interfacing with the server that is going to parse those text prompts and do the replies. the user, and it will interface with the smart contracts. And it's basically laid out this way with sort of a central stream contract, which sort of connects the three modules. There's the token factory module, and then the staking module. I kind of view it as sort of hanging off the token factory module, and the GDA pool off of that. And separately, once the token factory is done with its deployment and staking bits, it basically passes the remaining tokens back to the stream sort of master contract, which will pass those to the liquidity provision module to get deposited into the pool that gets created. So again, that's pretty high level, but that's sort of the basic overview. So key to success we view as differentiation. We really need to avoid the perception of being just another AI token launcher, just as a copycat, because we don't think we'll get, token deployers nor buyers with that approach. So the streaming superpower is a differentiating factor, but I think that's only true if it's demonstrated, because a token is a token, and until they see it stream real time, it just feels like any other token. So the built-in staking with the streaming rewards helps provide two differentiating aspects. As mentioned, it provides some utility other than just to sell the token by immediately giving them an option to access yield, a streaming yield. And the streaming yield, number two, it demonstrates the magic of receiving tokens every second, and we want to provide visuals that give that feeling that most of us have used Superfluid. We know what that's like, seeing those numbers go up every second. So we want to really lean into that magic and demonstrate the power of the streaming tokens. So in terms of the staking module, this part is basically coded. It kind of started here. From season 2, those that were around was DGen Dog's mission 2, which included a WOOF token, which also has its corresponding Superfluid version. And so last night I launched staking for WOOF, and it's essentially the same way in our current thoughts, the same way as it would work for Stream.fun. And so in this case, you're staking WOOF, which is the unwrapped token. It's Mint Club bonding curve token, and you're receiving ST WOOF, and the rewards are a stream of WOOFX, which is the wrapped Superfluid version of WOOF. And I have a stream of rewards that I'm sending into the pool, and behind the scenes, there's a Superfluid distribution pool that manages this. And so similar to DGen Dogs, we had what I call the ERC 721 pool manager. This one uses what I call ERC 20 pool manager. Same idea, a little bit different, but essentially when the staked tokens get transferred, shares in the pool get adjusted to the new owners and things like that in a similar manner. So this is live. So I can show you quickly. Here's the post that I did last night. The current APR, it's not that high anymore because people have actually deposited. There's over 43 million WOOF staked already. And you can do this right from the social feed here. So I've already have staked 402 WOOF. I can stake 1,000, and the first step will be to approve. Of course, it's going slow because this is a demo.
While we were waiting, I think I just want to inform all the judges, also the audience, we have kicked off. There's 2 weeks. So this is the first demo day, which means teams have just teamed up and finalizing their building ideas. Right now, Mark is showing what he has built as smart contract, which is very similar to what he will use also in the Launchpad.
Yeah, this is a piece. I'm going to stop that, but I will go over here. Essentially, the frame lets you stake and unstake. Pretty simple stuff. Here is the pool. I'll just refresh. So we have 45 million WOOF that has been staked. You can see the pool members here and there, the amount that they're receiving in rewards already. So one of the things about this that I think works well with Stream.fun is initially, the first pool member, the first person to stake gets it all. They get the whole stream, which can be quite attractive for, it really pays to be early, right? So right now, when I checked last time, the APR, which we're basically calculating as, the year, the amount you'd receive in a year was 23% still, which is fairly attractive still. But of course, as more people stake, that goes down. And so here we can see the amount streaming in, and down below is the distributions there. So that's the pool, and that's basically the idea. So Stream.fun would have something similar, except the token you stake and the token you get in rewards would be the same thing, because it'd be native streaming token, and it's a way to tap into yield. And there's that incentive to instead of racing to sell, maybe we can convince people to race to stake, get in early, grab a big piece of the early staking stream. And so this aspect is working, and it's sort of a test project. I mean, I think it's useful for WOOF, but it's also a test pilot of the staking module that will get plugged into Stream.fun once the other parts of the modules are ready.
Thanks, Mark.
And yeah, that's basically what we have right now. Next steps are to start diving into the smart contracts and the other modules, and putting those pieces together, and then wrapping it in some UI and server processes.
Great. Thanks, Mark. And Mark and Lee, first is we want to say Launchpad, Super Token Launchpad is very exciting for us. And it has lots of very complex components or modules to work with. So starting by little, do the contracts first and then front end afterwards. But generally, I think we are in the good hands. Judges, do you have any questions regarding the differentiator that they want to introduce as staking rewards compared to other type of launchpads? Do you have any also inputs about the launchpad itself as an idea? Any questions here?
Yeah, so I think that it's a cool and even simple idea to frame, and interesting to see how it will perform on Forecaster, because previous launchpad didn't have this, so I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but it will be the market that will tell that. So I have no particular suggestion, but I was curious around the reward structure. Maybe since this is also based on and built on top of the Forecaster social graph, maybe you could also give rewards based on the social score of somebody on Forecaster. Because if somebody that has a high social score is taking the token, it's a high signal for the rest of the network, right? So that I'm more incentivized to stake, and if I see somebody with a high score staking, maybe I'm more incentivized to. That's the only just an idea that I had when you were explaining the overall thing.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll give that a deeper thought. I see what you mean there by the that extra influence definitely could take things higher, draw more people in. So yeah, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, thanks. Valuable inputs. And any other questions? Yeah, Graven?
Yeah, this would dramatically change mechanics, and it's something that Franz and I have talked about. But if you want to consider trying to extend the game longer, potentially you could put something in front of the liquidity position where when they purchase, they don't get all their stream up front, but it's say vested over an hour, 2 hours, a day, 7 days, however long, so that you're early, but you don't get your reward until X time in the future. So you have to stay glued to your screen so you can stake it, sell it, whatever, behind the scenes. So maybe another way. It definitely makes sniper bots, well, I don't know, maybe it'd make them even more competitive because they can stay glued to their screen forever.
Yeah, I think that the similar friend shared a concept. I think it was yesterday. It was quite interesting along those lines. I'm still wrapping my head around it because it does change the mechanics quite a bit. And it's again, it's how would the market react is the big unknown there. I think it's a fascinating idea or experiment, but like, what would people do? Would they run scared or would they love it? I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Market will give us more feedback. Joyce, do you want to add anything here, or Fran, or Youssef? Or we can move to the next one?
I'm good. I think I had a similar suggestion as Graven, but he's already voiced it, so yeah.
Cool, thanks. All right, then we can go to the next one. Come on, guys, be brave here.
I can go next.
Yes, all right.
Sure. I will share my screen. Yeah, I hope it's visible to everyone.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Awesome. Okay, hey guys, I'm Dhruv. I'm based out of India, and I really like to experiment on different new ideas. So this is one of them. It's called Pipegate. What if every API call could pay for itself? And I'll explain the problem first so that we all have the context on what's happening here. I am a developer myself, and I hate API keys from my code. Like managing multiple API keys is just not a good experience that you have to like manage like one API key for OpenAI, one for AWS and other services. And on top of that, like for the API provider, in this case, OpenAI or AWS, they have to like maintain a full-blown authentication backend, storing the API keys and then managing their own authentication modules, etc. And they also pay like high gateway fees to the payment providers like Stripe, sometimes up to like 3-4%, and which becomes like considerable if you have a bigger user base. And you cannot pay using crypto here. And so the idea was to change this API monetization format and introduce like in a way use wallets. And so it's one wallet, zero API keys, and instant payments. And so like I'll go in detail on how it's happening. But this was a project which I tried earlier using payment channels. And the idea here is to use like stable coins to pay for my API calls. Like I would like, let's say, go subscribe to OpenAI. I will buy some credits from OpenAI for $20. So I should be able to use stable coins, and I don't need to manage my API keys. And I will show you how this works. So this is the architecture which I came up using stable coins and Superfluid. I had a different version of this with other architecture, like using payment channels. But with streams, this kind of becomes a much better experience. So the way this works is that this, as an API consumer, as a developer myself, I have a wallet I own, and then I could just simply start a stream with the provider being OpenAI in this case. So like I'm just starting a stablecoin stream to OpenAI to their wallet, and then now after this there are like SDKs. You could call them middlewares, which the user, so me being the user, I could use this SDK to send API calls. Like it will basically try to intercept the API call before it is sent to the provider, and it will add a signature from my private key. So I use my wallet to start a stream. Now I'm just using my private key to sign over a particular message on each and every API call. And this is for the factor that the provider could then go and verify these signatures on their server side. And so there is a middleware for that as well, which I built out earlier, like in a different format. And so it will simply take all the headers from the API call, verify the signature, and verify the information from blockchain. In this case, it will verify like the streams. So if the stream is present or not, how long the stream was running for, what's the stream rate, like the flow rate, etc., etc. And so like I'm also like mentioning what kind of headers do you need here. In this case, it's a signature over your own address. which is simply verify that has the user started a stream to the server side recipient, and if they have started the stream, then they will like be able to like the call will be authorized, and then they can simply keep making API calls in the same format. And so here you can see there are no API keys. It's just using my private key to sign signatures, and that's being done automatically. Like I don't have to do anything as a user. I simply use my private key once, and that the middleware handles the rest. The middleware, you could say the SDKs and all, they handle the rest. For demo, like when I was building this earlier without streams, I built out a JS SDK, a JS TypeScript based SDK for the user side, and then there is a Rust based middleware for the server side. And had a bit of like I also, so over this last 2 weeks, I kind of refined the architecture a bit to include streams, and now I like built out a very simple demo on like how could we how this can be how this takes place. And so I will just simply go through first on how like you would use it. So I'm showing the interface here, and so this is the client side SDK, which is in TS, TypeScript and JS. It can be used there. And so as a I just have to do this one thing. So this is the one with Superfluid streams. I just simply add my address, and then I use the interceptor. So it's like a middleware in between. Every request goes out from my end to the server side. It will intercept the request and add the corresponding signatures using my private key. And so that's the client side setup. Similarly, for server side setups, like there is a similar sort of interface, but that's in a Rust. So I will just show that as well. So this is the setup. So here, like you define. So this is the provider side, the OpenAI side, I could say. And so they have to set up that what's the token they want to receive, what is the amount of the flow rate they want to receive. So in this case, this is like $2 per month for demo, and then it like adds a bit of extra configuration. So the chain RPC you wanna use, and etc. etc. And then you just simply add the middleware, like an extra layer in between on the server side. So any call that comes in on the server side, it will be first verified via this middleware, and then only it will be like proceeded forward. And the code I have right now, it's for Rust Axiom. So Axiom is like a Express.js for Rust, creating servers in Rust, and so it's for that right now. And I want to kind of expand that to be usable for other server frameworks and other languages as well. The good thing here is this, that Rust is wasm compatible, so I could just simply make it compatible with Go, C++, and etc. other languages. Also, like I got a small demo on like how. So I set up a basic thing which I just showed you. I set up a similar thing here. I hope this is visible to everyone. Should I zoom in a bit?
For me, it's fine.
Okay, sure. So this is the client side. As I mentioned, I added a client side interceptor, and so this is the client side, like the terminal. Currently, I only have a terminal-based demo because this is a dev product, and so this is the server side SDK. Now, what I did earlier was this: I started a stream from this is the client wallet to the server side wallet, and so this is a stream which is going for $2 per month from between these wallets, and it's going on. So if I now go ahead and start my server here, so this might take a second. Yeah. So this is the server side, which I have like just run the server side, the server, and now if I run the test, this will like. So I will tell you what happened here. The test started, and it simply started to send a request. The interceptor checked the request. It created a signature. So this is a signature which was created by the interceptor, and then it got added to the request. So it's like a header in the request. So X signature and X sender. And then on the server side, once it receives the request, it will try to parse the signature, try to recover the address. So who was the signer and what was the message, and then it will check for the stream. So in this case, we can see that there was a stream flow found on chain, and the flow rate was matching to what we had. So the call was verified, and then it returned us stream payment authenticated as a result from the server side. So that's kind of the flow where I was able to send. Now, if I were to simply close the request, let's say I just simply try to cancel the stream, That should take a second. So I'm just trying to show that it will not allow the further request. Okay. So confirm. Let's wait for the request to get cancelled. Okay. So the request was cancelled. There is no ongoing request right now. And now if I were to, let's say, go ahead and try sending a request again, you would see that there was no stream flow found, and it returned a bad request by not allowing the like you to go through. And so currently, like the demo is very simple. On every request, it verifies. That's not the best in terms of like the performance. So I will want to work on that first of all in terms of the next steps. And there's also, I think, there can be also improvements on the interface, so how the server side uses it and how the client side uses it. And there's a potential of adding a UI to like kind of make it better for the users and the developers both, so that they can come to a single UI and then they can just simply start a stream and then check their balance and etc. etc. And then I think I was thinking on top of this, I could build a demo application using this as a base authentication, sort of like a global shared API where you could access multiple models like Claude and OpenAI and other models for a single stream. So it's like a proxy server in between, which is taking some stream from you or taking some money from a stream from you, and then you can access all the underneath models via the proxy server. So that's the idea. And yeah, I'm open to any questions.
Cool, thanks. So here, after the demo, I think everybody understand it's a subscription model of APIs. So you don't need to actually have private keys as before anymore. Not private key, I mean the API keys anymore. You just need to sign in your wallet with your wallet address. Right now, the front end is not ready yet. I think that's what Ashok say. Maybe he gonna work on a proper front end for users to use it very clearly. Like when do you open the stream? How do you access it? How do you design it? And then maybe a general API UI for multiple API service providers to have this on the platform as well. Anyone have any questions here?
Yes. So my main question would be, do you have any idea of like any API provider that might be, looking for this solution? Because I see how on our side, on your side, it's more convenient to use a wallet and a stream to pay for an API for an API key, while on the other side, it's still, far away that day when, I don't know, Stripe, for example, supports this type of payments and streaming. And for this reason, like I think that a good problem space where these I think it might have some usage is around AI agents. So imagine there are like a bunch of AI agents that need to interact with each other for services and completing more complex tasks. And each AI agent pay each other to fulfill, I don't know, specific requests. So in that case, I see that more convenience, simply because now AI agent can transact with each other only thanks to wallet and stable coins, while for existing and API providers, I see it less likely, let's say.
Yeah, I think I totally agree on that point. AI agents is sort of one of the biggest use case here. Also, I want to add one thing that for API providers, the reason they will want to move to this model, first of all, they don't need to manage a crypto like backend authentication. So like they don't need to have a database and like a full authentication module and etc. etc. They simply can use a middleware and that's it. So the blockchain is the backend here. The blockchain which is storing the stream and like getting the information from, that's the core. And so I got a like decent response from teams when I posted about the idea on Twitter, and like the teams were like Bioeconomy and other teams were interested. So I feel that's kind of the way where it's like self-serve onboarding. So the API provider like does not need to maintain any front end as well. Like right now you go to the OpenAI website, you create an API key and use it. In this case, there is no need. It's like open self onboarding. So that's the idea.
So you would only need a UI for discovery, basically.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the most compelling part, to be honest. Like Just the idea of building a whole backend database to manage payments, and then you just get rid of all of that, and you can just kind of install this and it works. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
This obviously checks if a stream is actively open, like at this exact second. Have you thought about, like, if you're really trying to have a subscription about people playing games with starting and stopping their stream all the time, if transactions are cheap enough?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest concerns even I have right now. But I think the way I would think about this is that we like, so even let's say even if they start and stop the stream, the flow rate could be so high that it will, like, when you make the API call, it will pay for itself. That's why we call it like API pay for itself. So if you're making the API call, you are using the resources, and so you should have a stream open during that period at least. Uh, but I think that there are ideas in terms of, like, I could make a session for a period so that you could use for a session or something. But I think that's something I would work on as I go.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I think there could be something. Obviously, the streams are great because of the capital efficiency. You don't want to like create like a huge bond or like some sort of staking mechanism. But I don't know, maybe if it's one time and draws down, and then because like you basically just don't want someone to, like, if they've proven that they've signed up for 30 days or whatever, then all of a sudden, like, yeah, okay, like you're not as concerned about, like, I don't know, them getting around like the true business model that you're trying to build. But yeah.
Yeah, I think so. There is one thing which could be done, which is like we will check from until when the user started the stream. So we could check for that from the blockchain, and that should allow us to just solve that problem.
Yep, sounds good. Any other questions here? No?
Not for me.
Oh, yeah, Joyce.
No, I was gonna say none for me.
All right, cool. Then we can move on to the next one.
I think we can go next.
Yeah, cool. Date.
Yeah.
We're ready for your agent.
We'll just share my screen. Okay. I think I'll just share it from here. I'm having some issues making it full screen.
We can see it, yeah.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Daitra, and Giovanni is with me in the team, and the product that we're building is called Streamline. And Streamline is an AI agent to streamline the Superfluid protocol. The idea is basically that the Superfluid protocol can be hard for people who are new to it to understand, and people might receive streams and they do not know what it is about, what the pools are about, and what the flows are. So this AI agent can essentially help users to understand what the Superfluid protocol is and help them do the transactions better and understand them better. And so, for example, a user could come to the platform, or in this case, it's an AI agent, so it could be a Discord bot as well, to just say what kind of streams that are currently being sent out from my wallet, or are the streams that I'm receiving into my wallet, or what pools am I a part of, and how many units do I have for such a pool. And in the current market, we have a lot of AI agent kits. For example, like the Goat SDK, for which we have Joyce over here, Agent Kit, LangChain, and Eliza. And you can always have these combinations of, like, you can use Goat SDK with Eliza as well and LangChain. But the core idea is that Superfluid is in the center of them, and the Discord bot has the knowledge of entire Superfluid protocol to help the user. Like Joyce already mentioned, Yusuf has built a fluid agent, a AI agent that actually helps, that actually incentivizes people to talk on the Discord server. So this is an example of me talking to the fluid agent. The idea is just that you send a joke to the fluid agent, it rates it, and it sends you unit based on your joke. And now you are receiving a stream directly to your wallet after you've provided this appropriate information. And so I thought I'd try my hand at integrating this as well. So I decided to create some actions in the agent kit because it had no Superfluid plugin. And after it was pretty straightforward, and after some time, it was ready to be merged as well. So in the next release for the agent kit, Superfluid would be a part of agent kit as well, and users can actually go ahead and use Superfluid directly from agent kit. The roadmap for our product has three main steps, essentially four steps, which I'll come to later. But the idea is the first part to integrate entirety of the Superfluid protocol knowledge into the bot. So the bot should essentially understand everything that the Superfluid has to offer, from streams, flows, pools, the CFA, GDA, and all of the things that are pretty hard for other people to know about. We have some approaches towards it, which Giovanni would come to later. We have like a RAG approach, or to just create a vector embeddings of everything and just feeding it to the bot. The second is the blockchain query capabilities. So the idea is, if you want to know what streams I have open, you need to go and check the blockchain, check the explorer to see what are the streams that are currently being sent, what pools am I a part of, and many other. And the last and the biggest part of this project is the subgraph query. So Superfluid has a subgraph as well. And the idealistic scenario would be to have an AI agent that is able to create its own queries to answer the user questions. For now, we'll have like certain subgraph queries that we think would be the most popular questions. But ideally, if we are able to train it on the entire subgraph, it should be able to create correct queries and answer any question that a user might have. For a little demo, I would like to just show you a few things. So yeah, over here is the Superfluid Explorer. And the Superfluid Explorer itself says that it's an explorer meant for developers and advanced users. And this is exactly what we want to change. A user should not have to go through the Superfluid Explorer to understand what are the streams, what are the pools that are part of, but instead just through a text chatbot interface, be able to know what the streams are, what the pools are. So just to test it out and see what we could do for it, I tried to open a few of them and see what we have. And for example, this is a user that is currently streaming. So we can go to the sender, and it's on the Sepolia network, and it has these super tokens and it's streaming. And we thought, how could we, because the Explorer does not have an API available. So we either need to go to the blockchain itself. So we could go to the Etherscan and see what are the states that are being changed, what are the event logs that are being sent out to understand. And we have some ideas around that. And I'm not sure if we're able to, can you see my VS Code screen as well?
Yeah, we can see your code base right now.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Goat SDK. So we thought, because Yusuf was already integrated the entire Superfluid plugin into that, we could just start by using the Goat SDK and trying to. So I just put in the Superfluid plugin and the Etherscan plugin to try out some stuff. We have not been able to have much success with it right now, but I'm adding my own read functions to it. So this is the plugin that Yusuf has already created, and I'm trying to add some more read functions to it, like if a member is connected to a certain pool, or to get the next flow of the entire stream to a particular pool. And so Joyce and the Goat team should hopefully expect a PR soon regarding all the new read functions as well. And what the conclusion that we came to is, I think we'll have to go through the subgraph approach itself, because this is the only way that we are able to fetch all of the inflows, the outflows, and the member units. Otherwise, we have to go through each transaction that a particular user has and sort it out by ourselves, which the subgraph technically does it for us. So that's the way we are going forward. I'll hand it over to Giovanni now, who would give you a short demo of the Discord bot that he has created, and he has tried to integrate some Superfluid knowledge already into the bot. Over to you, Giovanni.
Thank you, Dajitwa. So let me share my screen. Okay. So yeah, to continue what Dajitwa said, we want to streamline and make it really easy for end user to understand Superfluid, like abstracting all this part of the subgraph where we have which is very technical queries that a normal user wouldn't know how to do it with it. And we're going to build a Discord AI agent that enable them to just ask and get the answer. And so as this first iteration, I built the Discord bot with Eliza, which is with the functionality to ask about knowledge, for example, available on the documentation. So instead, where user have to go to section and understand it, they can just go to the Discord bot and ask the AI agent. So what it does is it will go to check the documentation and get the relevant docs, and then generate the answers. So here, for example, I was asking, check the pool balance, and Superfluid will tell me how to do it. So what it does, it will, right now I'm using Eliza, so I can go here. You can see, so what I have done for this demo is I incorporated the doc provider into the Eliza framework and some documentations, so it can get the relevant information and supply it to the user. Yeah, so this is the demo. Thank you. If you have any questions.
Yes, thanks, Daitva and Giovanni. So this is the first 2 weeks progress. So they use Eliza as LLM with Superfluid Docs, and then Daitva is responsible for the bots to be able to verify certain units, the type of subgraph events, etc. So it's more on-chain plugins based on what Youssef has already done and based on the Goat SDK. Does it make sense, more or less? But that's for 2 weeks, so that's why yeah, Joyce, do you have any questions here? Anyone?
I guess how do you see the onboarding process for like devs be? Because I would assume like this is like a pretty dev focused kind of product where you're trying to understand Superfluid. Maybe this is a dumb question, but like I was just trying to understand from the presentation.
No, it's a very good question. It's very Superfluid specific. How do you guys think like people gonna like it? How do you onboard no more like audience coming from Discord?
Yeah, so we're thinking it to be more targeted towards the people who actually do not know much about Superfluid protocol, and they do not, in fact, for that matter. So we're thinking of a person who has, let's say, received a stream and they do not even know what a stream is, and they can essentially talk to the bot directly from the Discord itself to ask, what is this stream? Why am I receiving it? And how much of this, how do I claim this stream, for example? And the bot is eventually able to help the user navigate certain parts of the documentation and areas that they might not know about. So we are trying to abstract away the dev experience from this middle part itself. If that answers your question, I'm not sure if you have anything else.
Yeah, it makes it pretty clear. And I guess this is also like general enough that you could expand to other kind of tools or like ecosystems if you wanted to in the future. Right,
Oh, yes,
without
for sure.
obviously like main rewards part and stuff like that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Sure, thanks. Any other questions? I think Youssef want to say
Yeah.
something more. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, well, first of all, thanks, Deetwa, for contributing some of the superfluid methods to Agents SDK. That's cool to see. One thing, there are a couple of things. So when it comes to querying, I guess the demo that you showed, Deetwa, initially, you showed that you're trying to kind of like implement some queries from the subgraph already. Um, Given the roadmap that that you've shown, don't you think it would be maybe easier to kind of like go through just the initial queries on the blockchain, assuming that even the user can go and like, okay, here, or like the agents can go, listen, all of the actions I can do is I can check your flow rates, for example. I can, if you give me a pool address, I can give me how many units you have there. That's all I can do. These are like 5 or 6 actions I can do. That's all. And I can also inform you about a lot about Superfluid, and that's it. And I think that would be probably a better iteration than trying to kind of like go right now and already dabble in the subgraph queries, even if you limit the actions, and even if you make the assumption that the user who's interacting with the agent has some sort of knowledge of Superfluid. It's okay to do that initially. I guess that's also okay because specifically because the agent would know everything about Superfluid. And so if the agent knows really well Superfluid and knows how to explain, it would be able to guide the user to give him the right, parameters to kind of make those actions happen. So I would definitely recommend to like go back to just kind of like interacting with the blockchain initially. I guess that's the first, remark slash question. The second one is when I saw the demo with the code, with the interaction on Discord, it did seem to just kind of like blindly go through our technical documentation and answer through that. So if you're gonna train the agents on our technical documentation, it will answer with technical answers, right? Like the idea here is to kind of understand. Well, you can make the agent general enough that it would be able to answer developers and users, and that would be fine. But the agent should be able to kind of differentiate between both and make sure that like not always give these overly technical questions to your target audience, which is eventually people who, as you said, Deidva, may not even know what streams are. Yeah, not necessarily questions, but I'm sure you guys have thought about these things. Just wanted to comment on that and maybe hear your comments on it as well.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, both the points that you make complete sense. For the first one, you're completely right that we could start with the fact that a person who has limited knowledge of Superfluid but still wants to know, let's say, what pools they're a member of and how many units they have, and they have the pool address. They could essentially go and talk to the bot for that. And so, yeah, we have already added some read functions already, and I'm trying to add the remaining read functions that are from the documentation into the code SDK. And I've been able to add a couple of them, but yeah, hopefully if we should be able to do all of them soon enough, and that should be able to query the blockchain through the forwarder addresses directly. And then we can move on to the subgraph queries where we can go look at the event logs and find out any information that the user might have just by giving their own wallet address, and you can find out everything about them. For the second part, you're right again because it gives a technical documentation. So I would say that this is like a first iteration. So we just give the entire technical documentation to it and just trained over it. But we could essentially ask the user if they would like a technical answer or a non-technical answer to differentiate, and then provide an answer based on whatever the reply was. So yeah, we would use that as well.
Yeah, more like a short version of simplified answers sometimes, like based on Joy's feedback. Also, not everybody wants to go to the details as all the technical developers, for sure. All right, now we can move on to the next project.
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, Shreyas, go ahead.
OK，你有OK， can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. We are a Fluid Fund. We are a team of two. I'm Shreyas, and with me is Afran. Let's just go into the problem that we are trying to solve. There's a social trading dilemma where you can see that everyone has a friend who is really good at the crypto trading, and everyone wants to follow that guy who wants to ask them what's the next coin or what you are actually trading or investing in. There's a FOMO with your friends who are really profitable, and but in the dilemma, there's also a problem socially that if you trust anyone blindly and just follow these trades, there's a fear of getting wrecked, where all of their tokens are gone. So currently in a decentralized way, there's no easy way for any copy traders to work. There are few, but it's still a very dodgy place, a centralized exchange or a place where they go and just add lump sum funds. The current challenges that I talked about is rug pulls, many meme coins which are being generated and are dumped upon the users even in hours of their launches. inflexible contribution methods where they have to just invest in lump sum amounts every month, every year, or every time they want to invest in. So there are few barriers when you're following your friends, because you have your chat groups, you try to ask them what to invest in, what to buy, what to sell. And there's a risk involved there, that what if he sells, but he tells me later on that he already sold. And yeah, so the solutions that we have here is a social trading investment fund platform where anyone can be a fund manager and create their own fund. The fund that they create on our platform can then be subscribed by any users that they want to. So a social profile will be linked with the fund that they have, and anyone can come to the platform and subscribe to the fund via Superfluid streams. Yeah, so how it works. So if I'm the one who is a fund manager, I come to the platform, create a fund using a fund contract, using our factory contract, create a fund contract, and that fund contract essentially takes all the subscription and accumulates all the streams. These USDCs which are getting accumulated in that fund contract then be used by the fund manager to trade on the DEXs like Uniswap, and essentially create a leaderboard of say how profitable they are or how negative they are at the moment. We are also planning to have a leaderboard in place where they will also be able to see all the funds that the user has created. We'll be linking all their funds with the social profiles on Farcaster and X so that there's no running involved. Our current progress, we have a bunch of UI that we have created and a bit of progress in our smart contracts. So I'll just show you a bit of an overview of an architecture of our contract. So a user here would start a flow using Superfluid to our investment fund contract, which is a fund manager's contract. All the users funds get accumulated here, and the fund manager can then trade via these Uniswap contracts. And when, for example, say this past 3 months, and this is the time where fund manager decides to realize profits or losses, he gets his cut if there's a profit. And at that time, we are calculating how much the users have streamed to this investment fund and what's the percentage of funds which are realized goes to them directly as a transfer. Yeah, this is just a very high level architecture. If you want to go to and look at the technicalities on the contract, all our contracts are open sourced. You can come here and look into the architecture in depth on the data. So we also have few things on the landing page. I'll let Irfan share and show you the landing page.
Yes. Hello. Thank you. Just the landing page is. Let me share one moment. Okay. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Sorry. Let me move this up. Okay. No, just this landing page is only not to expose technical acumen. It's only was created to give overall um, perspective about the project and just to add some waiting list just for get feedback from users, possible users, and try to build the project in better way. Is only
The
for
idea
this.
here is that we will have all the profitable funds listed on the landing page, and on one click, they'll be able to subscribe to them.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah. I like
Yes, since we're okay, yeah, the any person can just create the font, and just this font will be getting show, the users can choose what font follow, or base it in leaderboard or metrics.
cool. Thanks. I
Yeah,
like
okay.
the falling dots. Looks a little bit like Galaxy as well, but I also like fluid fonts. The design right now is cool. One question
Yes.
I have here is how do you guys think the what that word has done? They also have like a percentage of their funds to be tradable on a Uniswap pools. So there's other like secondary buyers who can dip into it. Or do you think what kind of
Yeah, we are
differentiation
going to have some
there?
reward mechanisms in place for that, and a fund token as well, so that they can have a secondary market if they want to sell early and lose some rewards that they already have gained.
Okay. Any other questions? Personally, I'm very excited for the fund management idea is because like you can just subscribe to a fund, somebody else will manage the profits yields for you. But for the Superfluid part, it's kind of still needs to figure out what will be the best on the contract technical level in terms of how much rewards each stream subscribers can get from the yield that fund manager has generated. Does it stream back to you, or does it give you back totally when the fund matures? So there's still lots of things to figure out. I don't know, what do you guys think in general of this idea? Do you think it's a good way to go? Do you think there are a lot of this kind of products already in the market? Probably it's quite difficult to have the same type of attention again. What are your thoughts, judges?
Yeah, I mean, differentiation for anything, like there's a lot of people building, so lean into what's unique for you guys. Personally, there's always, I mean, this is heavily regular. There's some traps in here, so just be careful. You mentioned rug pulls throughout, and like I mean, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to actually like execute on that and like build trust, and then stay safe on the regulatory side. But yeah, that's just a path you'll have to navigate.
Thanks, Graven. Any other questions?
Yeah, I wanted to add like on what you were talking about, other products out there. I think interface is like a very good solution for copy trading. I know it's not automated, but it's very like social and engaging for people. So I think like these projects should not like target the same type of users that like enjoying copy trading actually, but a different type that is more passive in their efforts in that direction. So rather than trying to improve that, just like focus on serving a different type of user base, maybe.
Okay, DAO.world is also very similar kind of project, but we have seen that many of the tokens are illiquid and very easy that they go down. So we were trying to like find a change there to actually make it work.
Thanks, Lemoni, and thanks, Reyes. Yeah, I think Lemoni's feedback is also very valid. They probably target more passive investors, like maybe like me, who doesn't have time to check all the tokens and who doesn't even want to double, like copy trading. I even don't have time to do copy trading. So I just want to subscribe and then see my yield APY goes between 5 to 10% every year. That's already good, because lots of stakings you can do in Aave is like 7-8%, even less than that, right? So if I can see I can have 8% going, that's already good, right? All right. Any other questions, or we can move to the next project? We have to move a little bit faster, actually. Thanks, everyone. And then, Qinghao, do you want to go for the next one? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I will share my screen. And yeah, okay. Hello everyone, welcome to our project. It's called Deep Flow, and maybe we're gonna change the name, but overall, we're going to make the value flow across open source network and in every second. So I will explain it in a few seconds, but yeah, so I will highlight every second because it's Superflow is superpower, right? Okay, so first thing first, we need to talk about from our perspective, what open source looks like to us. Does it look like this? And we don't think so. So we think open source software more looks like this. You never work on your own, and you always rely on some other dependencies, and many of them are also open sourced. And you also help others to save their time because they never need to do a lot of things again and again because you already solved the problem. So yeah, and that's super cool, right? So however, some of guy, even they make a huge impact in the open source world, they still struggling a lot in their real life. Like this guy, actually, he is the author of Core.js, which basically is a very important dependency of almost all the modern front-end framework. So basically, every front-end developer in their daily develop, they rely on this. But because this project is just like a very deep down component in this graph, so people never notice that, and so people make some meme to mock this guy. It's actually making me feel very sad. So we need to solve this problem, right? And we believe many people are really starting to do a lot of incentive for the open source contributors. But the question is, are they really do it in a right way? We don't know, and we don't know what's the right way, but we have our solution, and I will show you very soon. So we want to do it smarter, deeper, and in real time. So I will do the demo first and see what we are going to do in the next few months, and we really hope it will like be in product be popular and many people can use it to reward their contributors. Okay, so in the first page, we in our platform, because we want to do it smarter, so we have to do some analysis on the open source project, like analyze the repos and the developers. So here is a showcase, like we can just ranking the growth of the Web3 projects in the last 30 days. And maybe if you want to do some investment, you can also like take it as reference. Okay, so and so the next thing is that since we are going to do the reward to the repos, we believe to avoid the case I just showed you, the Core.js case, we should never only incentive to some software that are being seen by people, but there are still a lot of dependency. They are not being known by others, so people don't care it. But it's not correct because they actually do a lot of effort, and we need to help them if they are not live very well in their lifetime. So and in our platform, you can search any front-end JavaScript repos. Currently, we only support JavaScript. So maybe we can see something like Superfluid team build. Okay, it will like, it's crazy, right? But it is actually the open source software looks like. And this is the Superfluid finance widget. And you can see it relies on like React. And you can see a lot of people are building some they contribute to some dependency that hide very deeply. People barely never notice that. And what Soleil suggests us to do is we need to show the how much they contribute. So the lines are not in the same weight. And if the line is broader, it means the contributor doing more work. And to make it clear, you can like the level less, and you can hide the contributors. And you will see like it use so many different projects. And we noticed that some of the other platform are also doing some like dependency, but most of them are just let the user decide what dependency they use, and we think it's not at least it's not an open mechanistic. I mean, sorry, my English is not that good. Okay, so yeah. So we think because the dependency is basically written in your like package JSON or like Go mode and some other stuff, we can just analyze it, and we do it like automatically. And so since we will already get the analyze of the it, we can do the incentive and in our stream. And so what we do is like we use the Superfluid pool, and we'll create a pool for each repo. And because the repos are rely on each other, so the pool is actually a nested pool, and the pool can stream to some contributors, and it can also stream to some other repos. And that repos, if it receive the stream, it should send to the next level. However, it's not very easy to done, but Yusuf already gave me some advice, and currently we already do the first part. And another problem we need to solve is because developers are not registered on our platform yet, so we actually don't know if someone want to send some reward to some repos. Most of developers, they maybe not registered in our platform, so we don't know their wallet address. So we need to find a way to stream to the GitHub account directly. And we think this kind of mechanism is not only useful for our platform, so we also write it as a separately smart contract. And if other one want to use this, it can also be used, and we can be your dependency. Okay, and so I will show the create pool. But there is a demo, so there might still be some problem. Currently we didn't finish the nested pool, so it will just be one layer pool. Why we choose this SDK? Because this SDK is written by me, so I can really claim it through my GitHub account. And if you see the pool, because I already created a pool before, but it be updated 1 minute ago. And why is 47 and 52? It's actually because we really analyze the contributors by their commits, and maybe analyze the contributor based on commits is not a good idea, but we'll figure it out later, and we're trying to do it smarter and smarter. And what other thing is super cool is we also do use some LLM to analyze like if someone don't know what this project about, he can just ask the AI to introduce it to them. But I'm not sure. Oh, okay, you can see what is platform, and actually this SDK is we built for another contract we wrote, and and we really want to thank the all the infrastructure we rely on. And if you want to claim your stream, there are we will suppose two way. One way is we claim some rewards instantly, and the other is streams. And currently we didn't finish this part, but our code is already like we don't send stream to a wallet address, but we send stream to our account by create a receiver contract for that account, and we'll write some servers to do the OAuth thing, and to make sure only the GitHub user can claim that stream. And basically that's all what we did these days. And last thing is the roadmap. So actually, our smart contract will be super complicated because we want to support the nested pool for the dependencies. And from the basic platform, we want to analyze more dependencies. Currently, we only support JavaScript, but we want to do Golang and Rust. But it's also a lot of work, so maybe we'll do it in the next several months. And then we want to evaluate contribution smarter. Like I mentioned, it's not right to evaluate the contribution just by commits and like code a line of code. But overall, it do provide some reference on that, so it will work. But we're trying to make it smarter in the future. And the last thing is about our business model, because it's basically it's a public goods thing, but we also trying, because we already do the analysis, and I think the even like the analysis of the stars GAN, and like if the developer are continuously to contribute, even this simple analysis, I already heard a lot of partners, they want to like use this service, and we can make an API for them. So, and that's all in my head, and yeah, so that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Qinghao. There's already one question Lemoni asked in the chat, is about how you're gonna set up wallets. It's gonna be based on GitHub accounts. So it, like you said, third-party wallets accounts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so basically it's like this way. I can show you. So first thing is someone open a pool or create a pool, and when he give some units to the pool, it has to be a address, right? But this address can be created by us. So we will create a contract receiver, a receiver contract for every GitHub account. And so the stream will distribute it to that account. And that contract is a template, and it provide a claim method. And so the last thing we need to do is to make sure the method, there is some signature check. And the basic idea is like we can build a centralized service to do that. Like we have a secret key, and we never reveal it. We never, how do I say? We never expose it, and yeah, and but the contract can have the public key, and but in the future way, we think it can also be done in a decentralized way, because the OAuth they have a public key and private key in the like GitHub server, and public key is open. So if the user do the OAuth, they have the signature. We can also check it on the smart contract. So that way it will be truly a decentralized way to send a stream and also send money to the account, but not the wallet. Yeah.
Cool. I hope that answers Lemoni and others' questions regarding the wallets. And about, I think, the open source, like we really like the incentive mechanisms for open source devs, and like Rip say also in the chat, and Graven is also working for something similar, like GDA units based on the an API calls from other tools, third-party tools, to tell the contributor score. I don't know if Graven, you can give also a little bit feedback about what Qinghao has been built. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm super excited to see this. It's really ambitious. There's a lot of like really important primitives that will like obviously you see in the chat. Other people are excited because these tools will be used in other contexts. So the other thing I would just say, like they're, because it's so ambitious, don't be afraid to like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are other tools and things out there that you can learn from. And know you're aware of deep funding from Vitalik and Gitcoin and Owaki, so definitely keep an eye on that. Specifically, we're not working on something. We're just, SourceCred has been around for a long time as a way to evaluate a single repo and give weightings and dynamic weightings over time. That might be something that could go into the larger algorithm as you start to nest these things. But we're just going to build an API, and someone already has a front end for producing SourceCred scores. So yeah, just send those scores through an API, updated GDA. But so just we'll stay in touch. This is super cool, and definitely looking forward to seeing your progress.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. And Mark, yeah, please go ahead with your comment and question.
Okay, yeah. First thing I was thinking about was on that last part about creating a wallet or a contract receiver for each GitHub account. It occurred to me that maybe you're already planning this, but it seems like a good case for using a counterfactual. So if you were able to use a deterministic address for those receiver contracts, you wouldn't need to deploy them until like there was a claim. So you could save on gas and server costs because if you're guaranteed to know what the address is going to be, you can send a stream to it before it exists and then deploy it later when there's a valid claim. So just a thought there, maybe that's already the plan. But that kind of leads to my next question is that what about the case where the developer, the contributor just never claims?
Yeah.
It would be a shame for there to be a lot of ETH or whatever token that's just being streamed, but nobody ever claims it. It would be nice if that at some point that could be redistributed to contributors who are claiming in some way from different projects. I mean, how do you think? What do you think about a good way to handle that is?
Yeah, actually, I don't have another good idea, but I basically the idea is some like you like after some time like just redistribute or the owner can redeem it and yeah do anything he wants. Yeah, that's a question, but yeah, I don't know what other way can do unless that one day everyone have a like every Web2 account can just related to a Web3 address and everyone are using it. That won't be a problem. But yeah, currently what we can do is just redistribute it, right?
Cool, thanks. And we are running out of time, so thanks Chenghao again for your presentation. Now we are going to Neza for the Astra Block V2.
Yes, and we'll I'll try to make it quick. It's gonna be simple. Let me share my screen. Okay, yes, so hello everyone. So I guess I think I'm the only returning project. So I will explain quickly what is Astroblock. Astroblock, it's a multiplayer game that's built on it's a multiplayer game that rewards players that play in token streams. So I will make a quick demo. I will show you. I'll talk about the numbers. We've onboarded like almost 1,000 players since in a month. It's not huge, but it was interesting. We had also like 150, 200 claims of tokens that were claimed. I will show you the game real quickly. So this is what the game is. You basically have game servers that are deployed in different regions. You can join the game. I will show you in this one. This is the Astro HQ. Join the game. You have small objects that are falling, and you can shoot them and earn some points. And this is basically the simple game. The more you earn points, the more you score in the rankings. So right now I'm 143rd, and I'm earning 5K Astro per week. So Astro was the token that we launched through the party, a party round, and it is live, and it is the token that is feeding that is rewarded to the players. So basically what's next for this guild is going to be a foster community and distribute the game to a larger audience through providing utility and fun for communities. So it's going to be on the Forecaster for Forecaster communities, so like DGen, Super, etc. And also NFT communities that I've started talking to also in the broader crypto ecosystem. And also building more for the features, I'm going to build more team-oriented features so that people can feel the rivalry between communities, and also providing general utility for the token. So how I'm planning on engaging is on Forecaster. What I have going on right now it's I'm going to engage with the Anon. I've already done this as a creator community on anon.world. I don't know if you know this 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 project. It allows people to post on Forecaster anonymously using ZK proofs, and so this is the project, and I basically created a group on there so you can you need some amount of Astro to post. I think here it is. I already have a couple posts. We also have an Astrobot account, which is going to engage in the feed. It tells you how many points you've scored, and yeah, it gives you some feedback from your in-game actions. Also, I didn't mention that game is also playable on the frame. You can add it on the Warpcast mobile and add it to your quick apps. We're gonna also engage. I'm gonna also engage with Clanker by deploying a token maybe this weekend and make it available in game also, and also engage with DGen. I also have a partnership with was what I was talking about, partnership with a NFT community to provide some utility for their communities. And so I guess I've talked a bit about this, but basically I'm gonna make Astro useful by making some rooms to require actually any tokens. This has been done last week. You can require any ERC20, ERC721, or this has not been done, but you can also. I'm thinking of adding streams as a gate so that you feed some tokens to the game, but I need to adjust the game logic because right now the tokens that you would send wouldn't be redistributed, but it's another issue. Also, I'm going to add a feature to able to mint your rank. So right now, you just the points are not on chain; they're in a centralized database. I'm going to add the ability for you to be able to mint your rank, so you can mint it, set it on chain, then we reset it or we have it, and then you can then give that utility later, or people can use it in other projects, etc. Also, this is probably a big feature as well. It's like opening the game server creation. So right now I have to manually create a server for you and have to deploy distributor contracts, the one that distributes the tokens to the players, etc. So I'm going to streamline that process. I haven't shown you, but there is an entire, it's pretty much in process. I have a very ugly front end that helps me manage the game. So you can see the game rooms. I can enable them, disable them, handle tokens. You can see in here I have, well, maybe I will show that one. Every asset that is in game is also, I can also manage it myself, and it has access control. And I'm the only one that's able to update these. And oops, yes. And then finally, add some team rankings. I'm gonna make it. I have drawn myself some forecaster, some forecaster ships, and I'm planning on releasing them and making a team leaderboard, basically, where you can gain points, score points in your own community, and basically make it more fun to play together. And yeah, that's it for me for Astroblock Season 2. Thank you.
Thanks, Neda. For judges, the first time the context is the game has already been launched, and Neda is trying to gain more traction for the users to come to the game and also make it the customized features more like, specifies customized spaceships, team ranking to make the game more fun to play afterwards. And I would like to hear your thoughts about his planning. Do you think it's gonna drive more attention, more users? I think Lemoni already said something about in-game token rewards. That's what you shared before.
Yeah. Since I'm building a game as well, not right now with a token, but I was looking into Stockfire and FriendPet because they have some interesting token reward dynamics, and I linked some docs about it. I guess like at least like for what I'm looking for inside Forecaster in building a game, instead of focusing on building only like a single player game experience and trying to prompt user as much as possible to share whatever they do in the game in the feed, so that tweaks the virality flywheel. So try to prioritize on features that people might want to share. So maybe they want to share their score, their leaderboard, or inviting somebody to play with them or competing with them. Stuff like that can help you getting more users on board, I think.
Yeah, I've seen these. I actually tried your game and other people's. Then you have to like recast and have a preview of your frame with your score. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and do that.
Nice. And I really like actually the team ranking. Imagine you can actually burn Astra to get some special, spaceships represent your team. And then the other team has another feature. And then we do like team playing together. Then you can share. So it becomes also a topic for others to say, rather than I'm just playing randomly against random people, right? So it becomes more interesting. I like this idea a lot. Yeah, social flexing is a way, as Mark say. Other other type of questions or suggestions here? Joyce, do you like kind of like spaceship type of games? Do you think it can attract users?
I think even if it wasn't like Superfluid like specific, it's still like probably attract users. I mean, I'm not a huge gamer myself, but I do see the poll. Like sorry, I do see like how people like why people want to play this. I guess I have a question that's not super fluid related. It's more game incentive slash like mechanic related, but where do you think we'll go from here when games kind of get like increasingly financialized like that? Because we used to have a wave of like GameFi, and then it kind of died because like XE and everything sort of dying together. But like, where do you think we start going from here?
Yep. General question, I guess. Yeah, and we all see the trend, like game become more financialized, gamified, like Joy
Like
said.
gaming agents and like Wayfinder is coming back, Prime is coming back. Like where do you see it coming from here?
That's a difficult question. I'm not really sure. The I guess the only thing I would see is like I only seen like three. You talk about incentives, but like I've only seen like in crypto, there's three major like reward systems. Like just the first one is people, it's just a community giving away some tokens. So this is what I have right now. It's only mechanism activated, but you could also have like staked rewards where people like engage some amount, then they play and they get a share of their accomplishments in game, whether they lose. Basically, a poker kind of situation. And but I think the most interesting one is like the ones that are related to DeFi, where like people earn a share of fees of some like swaps and all this kind of DeFi related gaming. I'm not super knowledgeable about all this, but this is what I've seen being really kind of like a Stokefire, but Stokefire is doing a bit, and it's a really cool experiment.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's all the questions I have.
Thanks. Cool, and we are almost at time. Any other final thoughts, questions before we close the call? First, thanks a lot for all the judges to be here, and it's just the beginning because it's the first demo day, and the teams are just started like firing up, you know. So we want you to keep up with the speed, with the innovation, and we'll work with you together to improve your product on the way. All right. Cool. Then thanks, everyone. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.